probably saving for Xmas. While you were sleeping off your excess, I slipped them from your hippocampus and committed them to paper instead of you to a sanitarium. Forgive me. They were so ripe and so bold. You have to know William Carlos Williams for that one to work. So remember, I want to read this in public. Read the Williams poem first. Okay. I finished the poems. I finished the plums that were in the icebox that you were probably saving for breakfast. Forgive me, they were delicious, so sweet and so cold. This is my friend Mursalin. This is for my friend Mursalin, who lives in Sevilla right now. He and I were housemates in Syracuse. We both attended the program, the graduate program in creative writing, sponsored by the English department and several other poets in the class, some of whom I'm still in touch with. And after a couple of years of staying in touch, after we both left the program, left the university, we lost touch with each other. And many years later, I can't tell you how many, I could figure it out probably, could have been 20, 30, 40 years. Decided to look him up on Google. And on Google, I found an address for him. So I contacted him. He was thrilled to hear from me. He said he'd been looking for me too. And he was living in Spain. And had always wanted to see the Sea of Galilee. So we said, come, stay with us. We'll take you to the Sea of Galilee. Or as we call it, the Canary. So he did. He came. We stayed a few days. Yehudi Mamish fascinated by him. He's just a special soul. He'd been through a whole lot of, say, spiritual evolution. He became, you know what, what's the, it's kind of a Muslim sect, but not a hardcore.
Sufi?
No.
No.
You do Ladahan. You have to wait at the door of this room before they'll let you in. Subud. It's kind of an Indonesian religion, right? So that was the big change for him. Made him much more of a meditator, more reflective. It made him so much more deep. And he was still writing. And his work is online. I don't think it got published independently, but his own, he published it himself, like you do with Amazon, but in this case, a different.
He had a way, I feel, of talking. He never said an extra word.
Yeah.
He said exactly what he meant and no extras. It was exquisite.
So after reestablishing our connection, I wanted to stay in touch. And at one point, I sent him an email, and I didn't get a reply. And I was worried, so I had a street address, so I wrote to him. And I think also I had one of his daughters. I had her contact information. I think I wrote to her also. Where's your father? I haven't heard from him. I wrote recently. Turned out it was just a mistake. It was a different address than the one I had. So, but I wrote this poem in the meantime to Mursalin, from whom I have had no word. Little paper boat, bearing written note from my hand through time, softly anxious rhyme. To what hands or eyes you might some hour surprise, gently taken breath prior to its death, creased and flattened be, by river or by sea, landing on a shore, sailing thence no more, salvaged from a fate, obscure, inanimate, folding in your clutch, wakening to touch, thoughts of human heart, now vanished and apart, floating once again with a comrade's pen.